Welcome into episode 146 of About the Cards podcast, live tonight on YouTube, as always, with your host Stefan Lawfer at Junkwax Twins,
Oh, hi.
Ben Wilson at our Trading Cards, and I'm Tim Shepler at Big Shep 79. We are a podcast by collectors for collectors, and we hope to bring you a smart, insightful podcast discussing trading card collecting. We're live every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Pacific
10 Central.
on YouTube, Facebook Live, and Twitch. Follow us on Twitter at About the Cards. We're available as a podcast everywhere. Check out our website, aboutthecards.wordpress.com. What is up, fellas? How have you been this last week?
I mean, I was almost perfect this week.
Yeah?
In that, yeah, San Diego was nearly perfect this week.
Now, well, tell us a little bit about that.
Except for plunking this guy. Nice shiny red Donruss parallel there.
Well, Joey Gallo action.
Focus on the name. So a friend of ours shoots me a text at like 5 p.m. saying, hey, so on the off chance, I might have a ticket to tonight's game if you want to go with me. Okay, sure. Why not? So he comes picks me up, and drops me off, whatever. And we go to the game, and it's like fifth, sixth inning. I'm like, hey, look at the scoreboard. And he's freaking out, trying to do every single rally, whatnot, backwards hat, upside down hat, inside out hat, shaking his glove at the pitcher. Nothing's working. About the ninth inning, he just gives up and kind of takes it in with me. And not a perfect game because, again, he hit Gallo, but it was a nice no-hitter. First when I've seen one of those in person.
Well, it was the Padres' first ever no-hitter in the history of the franchise. 3 years?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Well, that's pretty awesome.
They could throw a no-hitter all week, every game, all this week, and it wouldn't be as cool as that one because that was number one.
Was the first.
Yeah.
By someone from San Diego. And, of course, afterwards, all the statistical oddities come out. Like, technically, now Milwaukee is the only team without a no-hitter because they haven't thrown in the National League, but they threw one in the American League.
Yeah. And
Those stats are weird.
Rodon just completed one right before the show went on tonight for the White Sox.
He did.
And Abreu made a hell of a play at first base to preserve it. He had to stretch his leg because
Who do you no-hit?
they hit no-hit. Looked like the Indians.
I believe so.
Yeah, that's what it looks like. So
Well, that's pretty awesome.
yeah, no, that's cool. Getting a lot of excitement here on the early stages of baseball season. Regardless of who you're a fan of, a lot of fun stuff. A lot of fun young guys in the league that are just awesome. Harper with the epic talking smack to the fan, who said that Acuna's better than you, and he corrects him. Acuna. I mean, that's you say what you want about
With
Harper,
like
dude.
the accent, the hand accent.
Yeah. That's gonna. It's not as cool as that's a clown question.
Yeah.
Because but this could be number 2.
Right.
I mean,
So apparently he lost a perfect game in 8 through 8 1/3 innings, and just missed on a ball
Not
to
bad.
walk someone.
Yeah, actually, we were talking. We had our Zoom call for collectors, just whoever wanted to hop on this past Saturday, and our buddy Chris Anderson had said he's been to a no hitter, and I was like, yeah, and he goes, it was the Armando Reynoso one that
the one that didn't count.
wasn't quite one, but yeah, he's like, I went Galarraga, thank you. It was like he goes, I went to this one, and I'm like, all right.
I mean, that one counts.
when the umpire's crying the next day, that guy's a good guy.
Jim Joyce.
Jim Joyce.
Yeah.
Yep, you got hosed. Outside of that, no. I still haven't been able to find Upper Deck Series 2 in the wild. Did get a couple nice packages through the mail, and I got something to show off next week that Angela's working out a trade deal for. purchase through. That should be really cool to see.
So, real quick, since we just talked about no hitters, Ken's in the YouTube chat brings up a point because the Brewers have one. You know, if the A's had one, but it was in Kansas City or Philadelphia,
Sure.
you know, if your franchise had one, but it was in a different city, sure, it counts as the franchise, but does it count? I mean, Milwaukee had one in Milwaukee. It was just in the other league.
Right.
I think that one
Well,
counts
and then
more
that's what
than.
I said. It was like the statistical oddities. I still count it, but you know, Elias
Yeah.
is going to bump out stats.
Yeah, that's what they have to do. So
It's fun to argue.
awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah. No. So I had a problem this week. You know how I've been just jacked on pro set Leaf cards, right? Like I would get it right now, legit get it tattooed on my titty, and I'd have Brian Gray holding the Trevor Lawrence card. I already have one. I mean, I would just add another one over here, Brian Gray. But I got my package. I was all excited because it was the one with Zach Wilson and a bunch of guys, right? And Trey Lance. I ordered, Zach Wilson. I forget who else is in there, right? I think it was Mac Jones. And all the quarterbacks I've ordered 3 copies of. One for my complete set, one for my PC that I'm a little nerdy, and then one if like the guy like takes off and the card becomes like, it's like I paid like $7 for the $8 for the card. If it like goes to like $25 or $30, then hell yeah, because it's going to pay for a lot of the other cards I bought. They only said he won Zach Wilson, so I sent him a screenshot of my order, and then also sent him a picture of the back of the bubble mailer because it said ZW-1, just meaning it was one card. It had all the other guys' initials and how many cards I ordered of each of them, but Wilson was just one, so I just had one in the package, but my order said 3. Within like 3 hours of me reaching out to them, they responded back, "Hey, guess what? We're packaging them up. They're going to be headed out your way." So I just wanted to say thank you. I was real excited. So that they did that, and I spent some more money with them last week and bought more cards, and I can't wait to buy even more. So keep it going, Leaf. I can't believe I'm saying that out loud. It's like when
We had to kick him. Sorry, guys.
Earlier before the show, when Ben was chatting about how awesome Jose Altuve is, and he loves his Astros. So let's get into it.
I got no problem with Altuve. He's a Hall of Famer, depending on how you want to argue his level of culpability. Yeah, I mean, bottom line is, without the players being able to be condemned and punished, we don't know.
Same goes for Barry Bonds, then, right?
Yeah, I mean, I've come a long way. I've changed my perspective 180 on those guys. Isn't it Pete Rose's birthday today? Since we're kind of on the topic of people that I think he's having a birthday today. He's like 80 years old or something. But
so sounds right.
Oh yeah! Happy birthday, Pete Rose. He is exactly correct. He's 80 years old. Miss Charlie Hustle.
Yeah, it's one of those things that, for me, being an A's fan, as great as the Astros have been the last couple of years, I feel like I've been blessed. You know, I get to see a lot of Mike Trout. Got to see a ton of King Felix, unfortunately, because that dude always just rocked the A's. But the Astros have been great. I've got to enjoy Bregman and Altuve and Brantley and Springer, and obviously some of their arms like Verlander. And
Rich already likes you. You don't have to suck up to him.
No, it's just, I mean, I've said on the show before the thing that I thought Bregman was one of the best players up and coming in the league. And I hate that guy because every time he's up, hell, I was saying that last couple of days, Cole Calhoun, old Angels, is part of the Diamondbacks team now. And he had like a 3-for-3 game on Monday with, got on base 5 times. I'm like, that guy changes leagues and he still kills us when we play him. That guy just loves the A's.
Well, that's like when Goldschmidt would face Tim Lincecum, and no matter how awesome Lincecum was, Goldie would just pound his ass. I remember he came up and he would just. I'm all over there tonight, guys. I got my COVID vaccine on Thursday, and they didn't give me a choice. They just gave me the old Johnson & Johnson, So according to this week, I mean, some stuff could go down to me. So this might be the end of it. I don't know. So I'm just gonna throw it out there. But yeah. So
Yeah.
we'll see. Yeah. But it's all good. I'm still here. And
Normally, I wouldn't root for your demise, but after that Altuve comment, I mean, hey, we'll put an ad up on Craigslist along with PSA and BGS and podcast
Trying to
co-host
find
needed.
someone. Maybe just bring in Ange.
yeah.
I'll-
Let's hop into it the week that was. Come on, guys. You all love me.
all I can see is like a Skulls type initiation where all you have to do is like streak through the quad and yell that cards are not investments and grading cards is a scam, and then boom, you're on the show.
Funny you
Let's get
mentioned
to
grading. I guess that rules out Ange, but good.
I was just gonna say, you didn't you guys have to do that because you guys made me do that.
No.
No.
I had hashtag Tim's titties spray painted on my back while I was doing it.
Yeah. Just like Kirby's.
I
We're gonna talk about it in a
have-
little bit.
All of the knowledge. I wasn't guested.
Last week's releases, Topps Living Week 161, card 403, Nolan Arenado, third baseman, St. Louis Cardinals, a handful over 2,600. Card 404, Luis Garcia, rookie, second baseman, Washington Nationals, just a couple over 2,300. We also had 21.
We can't find that.
We also had 21 Topps Tribute, 2021 Upper Deck Black Diamond Hockey, and 20 Panini Select Football. Also in 20 Panini Contenders Optic Football. It was a busy, expensive week.
Mhm.
So, I bought the Luis Garcia. I think I kind of like what the Nats have done because they've let, if you look at the team, the Walgreens logo. If you look at the team and what they've done, they've kind of let some bigger names walk, but they've been able to replace them with like younger guys. And I think that that NL East is going to be a beast, I think, this year for baseball. And I like seeing guys like this come up and hopefully get a chance and play some ball. And Nolan Arenado actually probably getting a chance to play in the playoffs and maybe, get a ring.
Let's be real though. It doesn't hurt if you're the Nationals and you lose a guy like Bryce Harper and then you replace him with, I don't know, say Juan Soto. I mean that helps. I mean that goes to their scouting and development and drafting, and they've had a lot of people come up through their team. I mean, yeah, they were struggling a little bit out of this, out of the gate, but they've got a lot of guys, and I think Scherzer's contract is up at year's end. They still got Corbin and Strasburg, but they got some money, and I bet they go hard after Chris Bryant to play third base, whether it's through a trade this year or sign him as a free agent. But
I think that would be a steal. I think that it's so unfortunate with Chris Bryant that everybody just kind of like, remember how he was like the hobby darling.
He
right
was.
now, everybody's like, Chris Bryant, who cares?
He hit his second home run the other day, and I had made just a sarcastic tweet about, if this was 2014, the hobby would be going nuts, like that instant reaction. And, people laughed at it, kind of, go back and forth. And then somebody sends me a DM of a screenshot of a guy on Twitter who's like, hey, anybody got any Chris Bryant cards? And I'm just like, dude, on cue, 7 years late. It's like, come on, man. If you didn't want Chris Bryant cards yesterday, or let's say over the last 6 years, you don't want him today.
Yeah. To me, it's just funny. I mean, we move on from these guys so quickly. Here we go. This is easy parallel. Have you ever noticed how every year, like fast food restaurants all have the same thing? Like back in 2013, everybody had something jalapeno, right?
Sure.
And now it's like everybody has like everybody has like a chicken sandwich or everything is bagel seasoning. And it's all of these weird things. It's just like, this is going to be the thing for the year that everybody's going to be after. And next year we're going to move on, and it's going to be, mustard sauce or something crazy weird, or pink Himalayan salt fries, or
you're saying while I'm eating my Impossible Burger, sitting next to my Beanie Baby, playing with my Pogs. My Pogs were a good investment.
Pogs were fun though.
They were. You could collect them. You could throw them at your brother. But it's just it's so cyclical, and that cycle is 7 to 10 days. And granted, for these guys, they don't have a long shelf life. And why? We're only doing this guy and that guy for a while because why not?
Yeah.
It's just it cracks me up, and it's so easy to poke fun at the people that want to hop on this bandwagon because a player did something good today.
You mean your TV doesn't have 3D and smell-o-vision and AR technology?
Out in the garage, it does. Right next to my Betamax and my old there was one we had growing up that it was like pre-cable Select TV. If you're old enough to catch the Select TV reference, it was literally an A/B switch that you hooked up to the back of your TV, and A would be your bunny ears on the top of your roof, and B would be your Select TV, and you had to pop in your VHS and record movies. It was like a DVR 8 times removed. It's like the great granddaddy of the TiVo.
When I sold home theater stuff, we all knew 3D TV was a hoax. It was just garbage, right? But we made so much money off that dumb stuff and the stupid glasses. And oh man, you need to get at least 6 or 7 pairs, because what happens if your friends come over and you're watching Avatar in 3D? Somebody that doesn't have glasses, it's going to be all blurry. They're going to be able to enjoy it. So it was great. Hot off the press is this week's new release. Topps Living Week 162, card 405, Kirby Puckett, Hall of Famer. Wait, Hall of Famer? Outfielder, exposer, flasher, whatever, assaulter of the Minnesota Twins. In card 406, Amir Garrett, pitcher, daddy of the Pittsburgh Pirates, from the Cincinnati Reds. Remember that year, 2 years ago, he fought like the whole team? The whole team came at him?
That was Puig.
Yeah. Oh, was it Puig? I thought Amir Garrett was part of that.
He might have been. That's Puig going like this to like 37 dudes dressed in yellow.
Yeah.
It's like that guy was the best guy ever.
By the way, we got young Kirby Puckett here with the powder blues, and non-chubby. He hasn't had the burgers yet, and then he's got 2 good eyes. So
I was thinking the same thing. I'm like, I'm not gonna go there.
And unfortunately, no Kirby titties on this one.
I want to say they moved away from those in like 86.
Yeah, I want to say it was 80s. I want to say 87. What they did not wear them in 87 when they won the series.
I'm pretty sure we had them during the All-Star game, but 86 is feeling pretty vague.
It looks like he's wearing the best third baseman of all time's jersey, Mike Schmidt, in those powder blues.
Hey, it's
hold on. Birthday. George Brett, he had the powder blues, the best third baseman of all time.
Who?
Anyway.
Did he?
Yeah. Jose Altuve.
We also have 2021 Panini Origins basketball drop today. $500 a box, 1 pack per box, 7 cards per pack. You're going to get 1 rookie autograph, 1 additional autograph or mem card, 2 parallels. It's a 90-card base set, 10 of which have variations. It's the second year for the set as a second year for this release in basketball. Before it's mostly been in football, but they basically stole it from Topps. Let's be honest, it's Inception.
Right.
Cards have a colorful watercolor style backdrop. The rookie and legendary autographs are all on card. There's also rookie jersey autographs with oversized swatches, and they also have booklet cards which have 6-star signatures and rookies. involved in those. So always a nice thick card stock. Again, like we say it's Inception. It really is, but I like the fact that I love the look of these cards. But $500 for 7 cards, boy howdy, good luck.
That's pretty rough.
Yeah.
Now, so a small critique here. If you're going to have huge outsane prices like that, one, if you're going to have a base set, why do you need one? Why are you going to have?
Because this is supposed to be $100. This is supposed to be like $150 box.
Why are you going to have it at 90 cards? Like 1 or 2 of those should be the base card. I'd hope no more than that. Have a 10, 15 card base set, 25.
And
you have
how
to have
much
enough cards to fill it out so you can make 1,000, hundreds of thousands of boxes.
how much does those base cards have to theoretically sell for on the secondary market in order for you to get your quote unquote your money's worth, your rate of return? I mean, because those aren't $3 cards. If those are two of your 7 cards, I mean, they'd have to sell for $30-$40, and of course that's not realistic. But theoretically, that's what they would have to sell for you to get your internal rate of return back.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Again, though, you're trying to shoot for the big score. You're trying to get the James Weissmans, the Tyrese Halliburtons, the Anthony Edwards, LaMelo Ball auto.
God, this was a bad draft class.
We're gonna look back and laugh. I'm telling you guys right now. We're gonna look back and Halliburton should have been a top 5 pick, if not top 3,
Top 2,
and maybe. And it's just going to be one of those. Oh yeah, we all messed up. Kind of like the honest draft.
Well, maybe with some of those teams getting new owners this week, some of that will change in the future.
Oh, you're an A-Rod fan all of a sudden. Look at you.
That's how the T-Wolves are going to get good. They're going to start doing steroids.
Okay.
I will give credit where it's due. A-Rod might be the best thing that happens to that franchise because he gives it credibility, but from everything I've seen, he's not a bad business person. I don't think that you say what you will about his baseball prowess and his dating life, but it can't get any worse. If I were a Timberwolf fan, I would be excited to see what he brings to the team, and I don't think he's gonna do a shithole like Jeter's doing down in Miami.
The best joke I heard was he went from J-Lo to D-Lo.
Oh.
We have 2020 Panini National Treasures football dropping today. $4,500 a box.
No.
1 pack per box, 8 cards per pack, 3 autos, 3 mem cards, 1 parallel, 1 base and or insert. The 100 card set. The base set all numbered out of 99. Rookie patch autographs have on-card signatures, jumbo pieces, and print runs no higher than 99. Those are traditionally the most valuable rookie card that comes out every year. The new this year, rookie signature field pass cards. They're full bleed photos, and they have on-card autographs. They also have rookie jumbo prime signatures. They're done as booklet cards, opening up to a massive swatch on one side and the player's autograph on the other. Colossal signatures is one of the places with veteran and retired player autographs. And these are highlighted by oversized swatches and a premium parallels. And then there's also a cool one, teammates. And their signatures are paired up in gridiron graph duels.
I like that idea. So that's pretty cool looking.
Yeah, the one they show is Aikman and Emmett. And then there's Super Bowl Immortality as a new insert for 2020. While they might not have signatures or swatches, they are short prints, and they focus as top players from some of the biggest games in Super Bowl history.
So the one on screen is Joe Montana.
Of course. The GOAT. The greatest quarterback of all time.
What's that, 24?
Yep.
Fancy looking. Now, this is of course assuming that you're not our buddy that just mysteriously appeared in the Seattle area and misappropriated a box.
Oh yeah, we're going to talk about that in a little bit. Make sure you're checking out Ryan Cracknell's articles on Bikeit.com/news. for more details on these new releases. What's brewing next week's releases? And that's it. There is really nothing scheduled as of today for next week. So we will see. I guarantee you maybe something gets pushed up, but we'll see what happens there. Because there's been a couple of products shuffling around. So let's hop in infield chat, our hobby talk section, part of the show. The Rubber Band Man, Rick Probstein. I'm going to call him that from now on, the Rubber Band Man. This is from the Flip You on Twitter. It says, for F's sakes, Rick Probstein, is this real? Now, it's a picture of 2020 Topps Series 2, Luis Robert, wrapped in a rubber band twice. And I can't see what else is there. I mean, there are a couple other cards, but these are all in penny sleeves. Looks like they were wrapped in some cardboard with some bubble wrap. I know that right now top loaders are a little hard to find, but what's with the rubber band on cards? Like, you don't need the rubber band, bro.
Yeah, this isn't the 60s anymore. You don't need those. You never needed those. Please stop. Like, I mean, you see it at the show occasionally where a vendor will have a stack of cards that are actually in a top loader with rubber bands on it. And even that's just kind of like, that's, you do you, but.
No, like there should be no rubber bands around sports cards, trading cards at all.
Sincerely, Tape.
Everybody. Yeah. The only time I ever use a rubber band is I have my dividers when I sort, and I put a rubber band around these if I don't have like one of the big giant, paperclip things. So, but yeah, there's no excuse for that. And then here we go. Twins, and this isn't even basketball. Old Dirty Mooch tweets out, okay, so why though, Panini America? Why like that? It's a picture of a 2021 Allen Iverson Prism card. And when you look at it, okay, it's a cool looking Iverson card, but the dudes in the background show up a couple of times.
Right.
This is like an old school video game where you see the crowd and it's like the same 10 dudes just copy and pasted.
And then he found the photo, and why did those other guys get cropped out?
Are they wearing
like
anything?
It's not like it's the quote unquote famous peoples that were cropped out of a certain hoops card.
So they do that, but they leave like the Mariners name and then like a Ricky. Then our buddy Cardboard Icons showed the MLB logo on a Ricky Henderson card this week.
Real quick, that image was that Vince Carter on the image next to Iverson?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, but he got cropped out of the picture, right?
Yeah,
Right.
but it's the guys in the crowd that got duplicated.
So they just threw those guys on the other side to fill the hole, is what they did to cover where Vince Carter's legs would have been. Am I seeing that correctly?
I guess.
Yeah, basically. Here,
So
I'll show it again.
they took Vince Carter out, and then they're like, okay, well, we don't want Vince Carter in there. So see, but does Vince Carter have like a
So look at his hand
exclusive?
and his leg short. And
Okay, so they should have been. So that's covering up that picture there on the right if you're looking at it head on,
right.
because the people there in that middle of Iverson's legs are still there. The guy with the red cardigan or whatever he's wearing.
Right.
So basically, they just took the left image and threw it on the right side in place of Carter's right leg.
Right.
Just like really.
That just seems like something a second grader would do, new to Photoshop. Just like,
Well, this isn't the only dumb thing that popped up this week from our buddies over there. Dub Mentality, this is not how serial numbers are supposed to work. It's a Pete Alonso Donruss Diamond King, numbered. It's some kind of a parallel numbered out of 2021.
That's
And
the
it's
red
numbered-
whites.
Yeah, it's numbered 22. Or I'm sorry, 2022 out of 2021. So somehow they have an extra card.
Mm-hmm.
or do they?
So awesome.
These are sharp in hand. They look really nice.
They
But yeah, ouch. Come on, guys. So now you got to ask, of those, or whatever is on that sheet for those, are there more 2022s to be found out in the wild?
And if you have a team set, do you need all of them?
Well, obviously.
Okay, so we were talking before the show, Ben. You said you're having trouble finding some parallels of Donruss, right?
All right, so this is just kind of an interesting reflection that last year, when the pandemic hit and the world just shut down all at once, the most recent two products for baseball that had dropped were Gypsy Queen and Donruss Base.
Mm-hmm.
And so for the month of March, that was all you had, really. If you were looking for cards that were modern, 2020 cards, those were your only choices. So for somebody like me, I spent a lot more money and time building those team sets. So we speed up a year, and Donruss comes out right around the same time. And last year I had built 9 or 10 team sets. All of the different hollows, the base hollow, you got pink, you got orange, you got red, you got blue. I was able to put together some of the parallel sets like the 100s, which is cool, the Baby Shark, which they didn't bring back this year. I had a lot of fun with it. And like Steph said, the hollows are sharp. I mean, that's the blue there. And the red here is sharp. At least for me. I know a lot of people don't like non-licensed stuff, but for me, I think the colors are great. And the problem is this year, I've looked on Sport Lots, I've looked through eBay, and if you're trying to complete, I think the A's have 12 cards in their team set. I was going to do the entire team set of the blue hollow. And then I was going to do as much of the rainbow of the Matt Chapman Diamond King and the McGuire base card as I could. And I'd really like to put together a couple of the team sets, like the purple hollow and stuff like that. And it's hard right now. So either my opinion is that a lot of this stuff got gobbled up by flippers, and I see it all day long. So it's not like I don't have proof in my phone right now, screenshots of people sitting on tons of Donruss. You go to any Facebook card group right now and you see all kinds of flippers trying to offload their Donruss. The problem is every person sitting outside of Target ended up buying this. They can't move it, and because they can't move it, it's just sitting on their coffee table, listed up on the Facebook. Nobody's buying. Therefore, people like myself, maybe like Steph and some other collectors that like to go for some of these parallels, whether it's players or a complete team set, can't find it because just one's available here, one's available there. I can't tell you how many of these parallels I picked up on eBay that have not yet surfaced on Sport Lots. It's incredible. Last year, you were getting 10, 20, 30 of these within the first week. You could go build team sets of it didn't take much effort on my part, I guess I should say, to build 4 or 5 of these team sets.
Well, I was talking, Cardboard Icons sent me a note today that one of the LCSs in his area is selling the retail mega box for $100. And he goes, you can go on eBay and buy 2 and have it shipped for give or take around the same price point. And to me, that's
what's the MSRP on?
I think 30. I think they're 35 or 39.
$29.99 or $39.99.
Yeah, it's $30 or $40 somewhere. And for what you get a lot of cards in there, and you get some cool parallels for that price point.
The pink fireworks, especially, those are amazing.
Yeah, the pinks are great. The Unleashed, you got to be a little careful because you've got a diamond parallel, you have a vector parallel. The diamond actually has diamonds. The vector is the one that Steph just showed, where it's got like squares on it, and then you have
like a cubic effect.
Yeah, then you've got the Rapture, which kind of almost has like lines across it, and then you have the Silver, which is serial numbered out of 349, and they're all sharp. I mean, they really are. I've got the Diamond McGuire right here. Yeah. So you kind of have to be careful to figure out which one they are, because if you set all 4 of them side by side and you didn't know that the Silver was numbered, it's hard to tell the 4 apart until you can see the stripes versus the diamonds versus the squares. But I just think so much of this stuff right now is sitting unopened because of that kind of stuff. Like Ben had said, right?
Yeah.
My LCS has got me
make it-
sitting. Nobody's buying that for $100. Come on.
No.
Hey, listen,
No,
Ricky. Like Ben. Oh, sorry. The Aguirre. Sure. Thought you were talking to yourself about yourself.
Hey, are you listening to the show or not?
Yes.
We're live
obviously.
every Wednesday night at 8 p.m. Pacific.
10 Central. But no, and the other part too, not even just Donruss, like Heritage. I've seen so many people trying to flip it for what they think they can make on Heritage. It's just like it's
And honestly, now that the world is opening back up, you're starting to see, and this is a small sample size. It's not like I've got data to back this up. It's just what I've seen as I'm scrolling through Facebook and whatnot. A lot of this stuff is not moving. A lot of this stuff you'll see on Facebook, that post has been up for 22 hours and nobody has commented. Now that doesn't mean somebody didn't DM somebody and say, "Hey, I'll buy this," but you're seeing the same repetitive posts over and over again, just like the junk wax era, where when you have nothing, you got 10 sellers to every one buyer. And then once a buyer buys one, they're out of that market. Who are you selling to? You're selling to an empty room.
Yeah.
And
Well,
we've
it's
seen that all
the
over
price
again.
point they're trying to get for some of this stuff because wise collectors know, like, as much fun as it is to open Heritage or Donruss, the retail stuff of both of those, I mean, Heritage is worse because you're not going to get any of that. It's really hard to get a high number, right? The high number short prints. There really aren't any chase like inserts in Heritage that, people are after like in Donruss, and so when you kind of open it, Heritage is a little lackluster. And we've always said this about Heritage is that the duplication of the blasters where the packs are almost identical, like you could open up 2 Heritage blasters and get the same damn blaster almost, is tough. So another of how it doesn't work. This is not how it works. Old B Mitch on Twitter said, "Anybody have any extra Acunas? No, I'm not paying comps."
The
And
Alex
somebody
Pardee Project 70 Acuna. Sorry.
Okay, yeah, sorry. Yeah, Alex Pardee. Anybody have any extra Acuna Alex Pardees? No, I'm not paying comps. And the reason being is like somebody said, it's a $20 card. I'm not paying 50 for it. Well, it was a $20 card, and now people are getting 50 for it. So, yeah, the card went up because a lot of people liked it. So now it's no longer a $20 card. You should have bought it when it was $20.
What does
Obviously,
he say there? He
didn't-
says, "Yeah, no anybody paying that? No anybody paying $50. Okay."
And we're going to talk about comps and stuff later in the show. But I just thought, like, if I see somebody come across and say that they're not paying comps, then you know what? Awesome. Just move on and don't buy it, right? If you can find somebody that's at, below comps, and sweep it up and take it. But if that's the current market for the stuff and you don't want to pay it, then wait. Because there's a good chance it could fall.
Mm-hmm.
Well, there's I don't know when you wanted to talk about a Project 70 question that I had for you
we could
guys.
do right now. Yeah.
Okay,
I bought my first card today.
It's kind of apropos as far as this specific topic because of the what happens if it goes up. So yesterday, Mr. Cartoon released a Tony La Russa card. The first Tony La Russa.
2008 Topps.
Yeah, 2008 Topps. It's an interesting design. But my question for you guys is, as an A's collector who's bought all of the Project 2020, including the multi-headed card of the Nolan Ryan at the end of Project 2020 with all of the players featured, I've got all 8 of the A's so far. This is a Tony La Russa card with no jersey, nobody on the cap, but the text has the 3 teams listed. Is this considered an A's card to you guys?
Yes.
So yes, because much like McGuire, it has the Athletics and Cardinals.
So I hate both of you guys tonight. So there are 2 other cards. Steph, I don't know if you can really quickly pull up the 1956 card number 1. Because I there's also a Turn Back the Clock card that was released today of Howard Taft throwing out the first pitch, which I was talking with Matt Major about it, and he releases stats, cardboard stats on Twitter, and he's like, hey, I just realized on the back of that card it talks about that game being a Philadelphia Athletics game. So even though it's a presidential card, is that an Athletics card? Because the text on the back, much like card number 1 in the 1956 Topps set, it's just the president of the American League, but it has the Kansas City A's logo and their name. Is that an A's card?
Okay,
Yes.
so that's the William Hardage card. No, not an A's card. The William
what about-
Taft, not an A's card.
What did I say? Howard Taft? William Taft. Howard Taft. Howard Taft is somebody else.
President.
Not the president.
And
I'm on like 2 hours
the
of sleep.
LaRussa is because he actually managed. Didn't he play for the A's?
He did. He has a 64.
He
Kansas
managed
City
and
A's
played
card.
for the A's. That makes it an A's card.
Okay, because I asked my wife, who she's like, yeah, it's an A's card. I asked my dad, and we actually talked about it over dinner for like an hour. It was a fun conversation because I've not yet bought it, and I'm on the fence as to whether or not to buy it. Because am I just buying? If I'm buying LaRussa because he was, my favorite manager, fine. He was an A's manager and an A's player, fine. But he's not wearing any attire that is any team specific, much like the 1985 Topps Olympic set. But is it an A's card? And if I said I got the entire run of Project 2020, which is 20 McGuire's, 20 Henderson's, and the one Nolan Ryan card that has Henderson and McGuire on it, let's say there's 50 Project 70 cards and I don't have this one, and I have the other 50, do I have the complete set or do I not because I don't have the LaRussa?
You don't have the you need a little LaRussa.
So, did you guys know that Mike Trout is technically a twin?
Why?
Because his dad played for the minor league system.
So how does that make Mike a twin?
Well, based on the loosest of,
Go to bed. You're drunk.
I'm not.
Do you have enough Whataburger tonight?
That's the problem, actually.
He didn't have any.
No Whataburger tonight.
Whoa!
So-
It's Whataburger Wednesday.
I'm talking about that clown Mitchell who brought up I'm not paying, comps. Okay, so I've got a 3-day window to buy this LaRussa at cost.
Mhm.
Now, one of three things will happen moving forward. Either it will remain at cost, indefinitely. It will depreciate on the secondary market as so many of these cards. I don't know about Project 70, but we know Project 2020 was infamous for selling under, cost on a number of cards. Or it'll appreciate and go. Because I'm assuming it's probably going to have one of the lower print runs, and that's just my guess. I mean, yeah, you have 3 consumer markets, but my always questions when we talk about it is my PC complete with it, and is it incomplete without it? And will I kick myself if this has a low print run and I decide 6 months from now, I wish I had it, and now I got to pay $75 for it. And to his point, right? That party Acuna was $20 for 3 days. It's not like you didn't know it wasn't there. You changed your mind, and now you have to pay up.
Buy it because you're going to kick yourself, and I don't want to hear you complain about it like 3 weeks from now when the print round's like 1,200.
I'll buy it and I'll
someone
complain about it
said,
then. So
That's fine.
Don't
At least
lie,
you'll
you've already
have it.
bought it.
I have
Yeah,
not
like
ordered.
John Martinez says, "Don't lie, you already ordered it." Come on now.
I have not ordered it. However,
So
I keep a checkbook ledger on an Excel spreadsheet. Shut up, Tim.
hold on.
I have already inputted the $21.65 in my ledger, but I have not yet ordered it from Topps.
So you ordered
I've
it in
already-
your mind.
I've already paid my bills on that Excel spreadsheet through February of next year. I'm that anal about my money.
But how do you pay your electric bill? Because it varies month to month, doesn't it?
No, I put in a higher number as a holding spot just so I have a rough idea. And then when I actually get that bill, then I adjust it accordingly. But most of your bills are static, right? All your subscriptions, your mortgage is static, your insurance should be static.
Oh, you're supposed to pay that?
Yeah, that's why you had. You know what? Next topic.
I bought my first. I didn't even know it came out, but I bought my first Project 70 card. I bought the Buster Posey by Blake Jameson.
Yeah.
It really, really is. The color combination of the card and how Blake did it's awesome. I put it out there. I bought it to him. Blake even said, gave me a bunch of thank yous. It's the first one I bought. Again, this I bought the card because I love the way it looked.
Yeah.
But it's one of the few cards I've actually really enjoyed.
Yeah.
That's come out. And it happened to be of my guy. And so it's just, this set's been really disappointing to me. I don't know. I feel like every day there's a Yankee or two, and it's just okay, I don't care. Oh, awesome. The Mantle came out today. I was like, oh, neat. More Yankees. I just don't.
And Judge.
Yeah. I think we all just hate the Yankees. Unless you're a Yankees fan, you don't like the Yankees. There's no middle ground of, yeah, they're okay. No, you don't. You don't like them. You either like them or you don't, right? Guys, if I'm wrong on that, let me know.
No, Lakers, Cowboys. I mean,
at this point, I would take Topps Big or Topps Gallery over Project 70.
I'll bring it in here. Let's have the first show hug right here, live every Wednesday at 8 p.m.
10 Central.
70 Clough said Yankee or Dodger. I agree with that. Everybody should just hate the Dodgers. Even the Dodger fans should hate the Dodgers. Let's be honest.
Yankee, Dodger,
anyway.
Cardinal?
Steph, have you bought any Project 70 cards?
I haven't had a need to.
Anyway, this is a great fake out. So at Dale Salvi17 says 11 Walmarts in my area hit by a dude who identified himself as an Anderson employee. He went in the back, took what he wanted to buy, and actually stocked the shelves with what was left. He's wanted for 11 counts of obtaining property under false pretenses and trespassing. Okay, first of all, that's a pretty genius move. And second of all, that's just how dumb some of the employees might be. How much they just, not dumb that they are, how much they just don't care.
So, for context, this is in the North Carolina area. But two, that's one of those things where nobody really cares if you walk in and you act like you're supposed to be there.
Yeah.
Unless they're hyper paranoid.
I used to be in DSD for over 10 years, and I can't tell you how many times I walked into a back room. Now, Walmart supposed to have vendor badges. You're supposed to at the back door. But if you walk in through the front door as a vendor, like a salesperson or something like that for the Budweiser or the cards, they probably technically you're supposed to get a vendor badge so that you can walk around. But I mean, hell, they're on the receiving desk. If he just goes back there and grabs one. I literally was watching America's Most Wanted last night, and this pregnant lady robs a Subway. She goes into she says she's working for the district manager, and she needs to collect all of the cash in the store because one of the other Subways locally just got robbed. And she's on the phone, right? So she's got the phone up to her head. Yeah, no, I'm here at location, blah, blah, right now. And yeah, I've got all the cash. And then the employees are like, this doesn't sound right. And she goes, I have a gun. she takes all the money and runs. I mean, it's just kind of funny. This guy's like, yeah, I work for Anderson, and he stocked the shelves. That's awesome, man. If you're gonna do it, sell it. You know what I'm saying? But all in.
Do it 11 times. That's ballsy. And tiring.
And he's gonna get a couple of years when he gets caught over flipping. It's like you're on cell block C. What'd you do? Murder, drug dealer. You did what? Speak up, please.
Grand Theft.
I stole trading card. Okay. Hey, new fish. Yeah,
listen,
prison Mike here.
He never got caught neither.
Yeah.
I mean, it's one of those ones that's so comical. Like if you were in the jail saying you stole that, it's like, listen, if you don't want to tell me what you really did, that's fine. But you don't have to make something up.
that's where you make up and be like, yeah, it was something with a goat, and I had some liquor and moonshine. Let's just leave it there. There's also scumbag alert.
It's like you look at the dude and go, "What'd you do?" Yeah, I did that too. You know, I'll have yours. I'll have your rap sheet.
There's a scumbag alert out in the Seattle, Washington area. Dude leaned right over the counter. This are my buddy James, One Good Life. Dude leaned right over the counter, pushed it a little bit, and grabbed a box off the shelf. Hell of a reach and hell of a scumbag. This happened in Collector's Corner in Northwest in the Seattle area. A box of National Treasures was stolen. So we talked about how that's a $4,500 box. So here's the dude. The dumb comment I saw in there, somebody's like, well, if we didn't have these masks on, we'd be able to identify him easier. Okay, first of all, the mask didn't help him steal it. First of all, okay, let's be honest there, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's a picture of him also without a mask in the store. But again, local collectors know a lot of local collectors, and there's somebody that saw this that knows him that goes to that shop, and to hit a local shop for like a $4,000 product. Like that's disgusting, dude. Like really.
So, and then the other bit to this, friend of ours, friend of the show. I'm pulling up the picture here. Mel Rises' son, Richie, aka Boss Hardy. Get a good look at the kid. Mind you, he's in the Texas area, and I know he hasn't left. But
oh, you think it's him? He flipped to Seattle and stole a bot.
Even he said, "Yeah, I mean, I can kind of see it."
You think that was him?
No. Oh God, no.
He just says we found his doppelganger, and he's up stealing cards in Seattle.
Because that's not the kind of thing.
This shop had some nice reviews online about it. So if you're up in Seattle, go give him a check. But if you also know this scumbag is, or put it out there, yeah.
I think since I was watching the America's Most Wanted last night, maybe that's what we should do now about the cards most wanted. This guy's number one.
Yeah,
you know.
No, quality control guy over at Panini. Breaking news, if you didn't hear, Topps debuts its first MLB trading baseball card NFT collection with Topps Series 1. The Topps company announced yesterday they're going to launch, or this is a couple days ago, I guess, announced that they are going to release Top 2021 Topps Series 1 baseball and NFT collectibles. U-Sharing is a new era of baseball card collecting in a partnership with Major League Baseball and the Players Association. Launching Tuesday, April 20th at 1 p.m. Eastern, Topps will build on its legacy of innovator of digital collectibles by releasing its flagship yearly baseball card collection for the first time as NFTs. Artwork from the physical 2021 Topps Series 1 baseball release, including iconic throwback card templates, anniversary sets, and more, will be digitally enhanced and creatively reimaged as the officially licensed Topps MLB NFT collectibles. These releases will include standard and premium collectible packs for purchase, with rarities ranging from common to legendary and even legendary limited one-of-one platinum anniversary cards. Collectors will be delighted to find all types of NFT collectibles in this release, including motion graphics, nostalgic card templates, and other digital flourishes that provide deeper engagement. In celebration of this monumental release, the first 10,000 people who sign up to receive email alerts for Topps Series 1 are eligible to receive a free exclusive Topps MLB Opening Day NFT pack. To learn more about the releases, to enroll in the Opening Day NFT pack airdrop, collectors can visit the site. Sales begin on Tuesday, April 20th at 1 p.m. Eastern until sold out. I know I'll be saving my money.
Sorry, I tried to get through all of that without laughing.
And also, too, real quick, Sandlot had some NFT drop as well. So the flood of NFT, and
then I saw
so
the guy from Clerks was dropping one of his keys to his future movie in one.
Oh, Kevin Smith.
Kevin Smith.
Kevin Smith, yes, that's the name I was looking for. But my question is, okay, what's the difference between that and Bunt?
It's just a
Like not the set, but the mobile app or Huddle or Skate.
We brought up Excel. I brought up Excel, right? Think of it this way. Topps Bunt is a tab on your Excel spreadsheet, right? It's a digital ledger that keeps track of whatever quote unquote ownership is there. And then the next one is the next tab. And that's the difference. It's just on a different tab. And you could replicate this stuff. You know, I was going back with a bunch of chuckleheads on Twitter yesterday. And Vosbrink pulled some of the restrictions from, say, NBA Top Shot and started tweeting. And the first thing is with anything like this, don't confuse the ability to make money with it not being a scam. In fact, I had tweeted out the other day that, hey, the Ponzi scheme was real because I made money, Bernie Madoff. And I tweeted out today, I was like, well, that one aged interestingly because, passed away today.
Yes.
But that's the thing is, everybody at the top of a Ponzi scheme makes money. It's the people on the bottom that are being fed, the sheeps to slaughter, right? Or the lambs to slaughter. It's like, you're the mark if you're on the bottom. If you're on the top, great. It doesn't mean it's illegal. There's a lot of multi-level marketing companies that are around that are not illegal, but at the same time, it's very questionable ethically as to what they do and how they acquire new customers, quote unquote. The biggest problem with NFTs is they only exist, without getting too deep into the centralizing and decentralizing of them. If the app goes away tomorrow, if Topps goes out of business tomorrow, you lose your NFT. That's gone. So any money that you have put into it, if invested in it makes you feel better because you understand that word, cool. Any money you have in it is gone. That doesn't mean that I can't acquire it today and sell it to one of you guys tomorrow for more than I paid for it, of course. And I made money. But that doesn't mean that digital image, item, property, asset, that token.
Well, if you sell it, are they going to pay you out faster than Top Shot? Because Top Shot's not. I mean, people are just very minimally getting their money out.
And check this out. I got a pack of NBA Top Shot at the end of March. And the reason I did is because, I felt like, okay, I need to know a little bit about this. If I'm going to talk to anybody about it, I kind of have to understand how it's going to work. And the pack was guaranteed and it was $9. So for me, it's like, if a trip to the McDonald's cost you $9, a pack of these for $9 was worth wasting the money to be able to understand. Right. Mm-hmm. And, on the ones that aren't guaranteed, you get randomly put in line at 187,000. How do you know that there's really 187,000 people in front of you? That's because that's what the screen says, and you're going to buy into that. Yeah. This one was guaranteed. And if I'm not mistaken, it told me that you buy it today as a 48-hour window, and then it was going to release to you on, I believe it said the 7th of April, unless I'm mistaken. Here it is the 14th of April, and I still don't have this pack. It's when you control the intellectual property, and the NBA does. When you control the manufacturing and distribution, like NBA Top Shot does, and you control the funds, like NBA Top Shot does, newsflash, you don't own anything. They own everything. Mm-hmm. And you get what they give you, and that's that. You don't own this image of LeBron James slam dunk, because if you read all the restrictions on that, you have very limited use of it. I'm sorry, but the candle that I bought at Walmart, I have in my hand. I can light it. I can blow it out. I can light it. I can blow it out. I can throw it in the garbage. I can set it on my roof. I own it.
Yeah.
When people are like, well, what about your money? It sits on a digital ledger too. Because I can go to the bank tomorrow and close my account down, and the bank is obligated because they're insured. They're obligated to give me what's on the digital ledger that says I own. And I can get that in cash, any denomination I want, and I can stick it under my mattress. I can put it out in the garage. I can set it outside with a free sign on it and give my money away. Right? Because it's mine. this is not yours. You don't own it. NFTs are scams, by and large. Susie, Yank's chick, she's like, "What's the difference between an NFT and a digital ebook?" And it's like, you're damn right. That's only available because Amazon or Audible or whoever hosts it allows you access to it. But if they go away tomorrow, your book's gone.
Well, that's like when back in the day when you buy Blu-rays, they'd give you like a digital copy to download or to save somewhere you could watch on the go. I remember, who was it? One of the big ones. They sent an email out saying, "Hey, by the way, we're shutting down shop, so you're no longer going to have access to any of this content." Not that it cost you anything; it was a bonus. But it's the same thing. If the site gets shut down, if there's no internet, there's no way to go and get that product or that tangible. You have a tangible thing in your hands that showed, "Oh, this is mine." By the way, Ken Kinsley is going to be scanning his personal collection and selling the scans. I'm gonna do that right now.
I want you to sell the scanner too after you're done.
And a bit of a gaming rant, but there's no difference to that than with the newer systems that are coming out. They both have options to have disc or non-disc, and that's cool. Gives people an option. Fine. However, what happens when they drop a PlayStation 6 and you don't have the disc and they terminate the network?
Yeah.
Unless you have that on your PlayStation or you go through some that we can't talk about on YouTube, that game's lost to you.
Yeah.
Hmm?
To me, it's one of the things is time will tell in all of this stuff. But if you're in trading card collectibles, this is something I would just stay away from because there's so many uncertainties with it. People are selling these images or videos or whatever on Top Shot for a lot of money, but there's no one's getting big chunks of money out of it. And so, like, why? If you sell a card on ComC, if you sell a card on eBay, if you sell a card on Sportlots, if you sell a card to your buddy on Twitter, you're receiving that money rather quickly. Now, Sportlots is like once a month payout, but they send you the information, like you know what's going to happen. But everybody else is instant, almost instantaneous that you have the funds headed your way.
Depending on your options, ours can pay out in 4 days.
Yeah, but it goes to your account immediately. You get the store credit, like boom, it's there.
PayPal. Yep.
You know, it's right there. And so to me, like it's one of like I could see trying it out, dropping your $9, maybe dropping $100 just for fun, right? Because hell, a box of cards is that, right? A night out. Back in the day when we went to the movies, right? Like,
what? Well,
okay, yeah.
No, Grandpa.
What?
You never went to the movies. Your dementia's setting in. we never physically went to the movie theater.
Was that one of those? What do they call it? Mandela effects. Like I've never been to the movies.
Butterfly effect. Yeah.
You might not have seen them because there's a lot of them on Facebook. But the memes about back in my day, we used to go to concerts. Okay, Grandpa, it's time for you to take your pills and go to bed.
Yeah.
And,
Pepperidge Farms remembers.
Yep, Pepperidge Farms remember.
There was a
day, Chris. The boys used to come and go. Oh, we moly.
There was a chucklehead who called me out on Twitter yesterday. I had him blocked for being a chucklehead, and somebody DMs me and they're like, "Dude, this guy," and he's like, "Listen, NFTs are real. NFTs are great. You should buy NFTs." And he goes, "And don't listen to that R trading D word 4-letter D word head." And I was just like, so I go there and I unblock him, and I have some fun at his expense. And I'm like, "Listen, dude. Whenever somebody gets in front of something and defends it to no end, because they always go to the same argument. You just don't understand. You don't know it like I do." And I'm like, listen, as you defend NFTs, my friend, you literally sound like the 16-year-old girl who's yelling at her daddy. I love him. You don't know him like I do. Okay, he's a 19-year-old drug dealer, he's this, he's that, right? All the stereotypes of that. No, Daddy, I love him. You know, I remember when I was married to my first wife, and I was like, "Oh, I love her. She's so great." And all my family and friends are like, And 20 years later, Of course they were right, because they could see it differently than I saw it while I was in it. And it's like, I'm not saying you can't make money, because that's where people get confused. There's another guy yesterday, local to Tim and I, or at least used to be local to us, and he's like, so the money that I made is not real? I'm like, you're confusing the point. There's always people that make money in pyramid schemes. Always. And some of these NFTs might be legit, but the ones we're seeing isolated in the hobby are not. You're just buying something that is owned by somebody else. You're just renting it. They're literally allowing you to have it. And yeah, that ownership, if you define ownership as the ability to trade or sell something, but all it's doing is being digitally transferred from one side of the ledger to the other, from my name to Tim's name to Stefan's name. But once it goes away, and that's what cracks me up. It's like, in my non-9-to-5 job, I deal with NFTs a lot and discuss these a lot. So it's like, yeah, dude, I know a lot about them. So when you come at me and say you didn't do enough research, you just don't know like me, it's like, the reason you would want to silence the opposition, or in other words, me in this case, is because if I get to just you two guys and you guys decide not to buy in it, you're two marks that they no longer can go after, because you guys now are not going to buy into the scheme. And that's why people vehemently defend this stuff, because they know there's something wrong with it.
It's funny, when you look at someone through rose-colored glasses, all the red flags just look like flags.
Yeah.
Yeah, and if somebody was to come on and have a discussion with us on this, I'd love to. Somebody that's been spent some time and money into it, like, what are they expecting to get out of it? Because I'd like to have a counterpoint to this.
Yeah,
so,
and
anyway.
we'll be open.
Yeah,
I
think we are. We're just trying to be, like we always say, we're trying to be insightful about trading cards and the stuff surrounding this hobby, because we love it, and we hope that we can help people make a better decision or understand things that are going on in the hobby, and they can get both sides of it, because a lot of times you are going to get a biased side, and there's times, dude, guys, we could be somewhat biased, right? But a majority of the time, like, again, we never always agreed with Leaf.
Diamond Kings is perfect.
We never agreed. We never really liked Leaf or anything that they do. But I have lately. We've had Brian on the show before, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we want to have opposition to this. We can talk about it intelligently and let everybody know, what's going on. I want to move on. Yeah, go ahead.
Just 30 seconds, just real quick.
Yeah.
You can buy a hobby box, retail, blaster, whatever, right? Or you can buy singles. On the show, we try to educate the difference between the two, and you make your own decision what works best for your budget and your collection. Same thing with NFTs. Okay. Obviously, I've done my research and I know what I'm talking about, but that doesn't mean you can't make money and that there aren't people that have had a lot of success. To me, NFTs are scams. But do your research for your own. Don't take our word for it, but you're going to see a lot of people on one side that are going to argue for it. Understand, there's a lot of people on the other side that are going to argue against it. Just make sure you do enough research on both sides before you dive into it financially, and you can make money off of it. Do not confuse that with the fact that it's not a scam.
Yeah. So my buddy Murph says he's made $9,000 so far in NFTs. So I just want to ask Murph, like, how much, buddy? How much did you have in your bank account?
One of my buddies has well over $100,000 profit, most of which he probably can't access readily. But he'll laugh all the way. He's like, "Hey, I'm only in this for right now because there's a lot of people that are making money." He goes, "I'm going to make mine, and I'm going to get out." And I'm like, I said, "Can you spot me 50 grand right now out of that 100?" I said, "Could you theoretically do that?" And he goes, "No, not right now. I couldn't." I said, "Then you got nothing, my man. Got nothing."
Murph said the NBA is back in the project. Do you think they will screw the fans? I don't think they'll screw the fans, but there's been times where we've seen leagues back things and they fell apart. I mean, look at first of all, the prime example is MLB TV. The blackout situation that they have on that is screwing the fans left and right, and it's them providing it, saying,
especially if you're in Iowa, you can get blacked out by 8 teams.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or like I think there's a spot like in the if you live in Maryland area that you can lose out like on like 4 or 5 teams.
The NBA is backing it because they still own the property rights. The IP still is owned by the NBA, not by Murph, not by me, not by anybody. You don't own the Zion dunk. The NBA does. And they have very strict restrictions as to what you can and can't do with that. And if the NBA ever decided to pull that away from NBA Top Shot, NBA Top Shot's got nothing. Right now, your $9,000 on NBA Top Shot, they're making interest on that. Probably compounding interest month over month on your dime.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Because they can come and say, hey, we don't like what what's the company that's doing the Canadian Code's doing. We'd say,
Dapper.
hey, Dapper, yeah, like, hey, Dapper did something we don't like that broke our agreement with them, so we're walking away and we're taking our ball too. So you guys can do your thing, but everything that's in there, we're gonna walk over here and go do. So
one simple press release, and they've washed their hands. Everybody gets screwed out of it. If you got screwed out of this deal, out of whatever your nest egg was, and your $9 grand, 10 grand, 15 grand in your account, $200 in your account, you get screwed out of it. Are you really going to stop watching the NBA over this? No. It's a small black eye.
I'm going to stop watching the NBA because my team is the Sacramento Kings, and
that's a whole different. That's a whole different scenario.
Hey, real quick, Good as Gold in the chat says professional baseball players on the injured list are tweeting they can't even watch their own teams on TV.
Bad.
I saw a couple of your Royals prospects saying that.
Yeah,
bad news, man.
Yeah, that's why I've never signed up for it. Now I've always enjoyed it, like the free preview and stuff, because again, the A's and the Giants are the only two, and we get those games locally here. And if
but they're blacked out when it's regional, like it was Monday. My dad and I had to watch it through NBC Sports on. We had to Chromecast it onto the TV.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's very rare that happens. But, if you're in Iowa where you have no local teams and then you get blacked out to 8,
And why are you blacking out road games? I can't go to New York to see a 3-game set. Why are you blacking that out on regional TV?
Get your hand radio out.
All three of us know they're not going to black out a New York game.
No, but they're going to black out the A's. I mean, like yesterday, I couldn't watch the A's on Monday. A's
game was certainly getting blacked out.
The A's at Arizona. No, I mean, if the A's were the Yankees, they wouldn't have blacked that out if it was a regional game because we're on the road. But they're looking at the regional as it's still the Oakland A's, and I'm in the Oakland A's market.
Comps. So VB Vintage and A and New ask, can I ask a question without getting murdered for it? Why do people fight over comps? If someone posts a price and you don't want it at that price, barter for sure. If it doesn't work out, then it doesn't work out. Then if someone wants to buy it at the price you didn't, and then that becomes the market value, whether it's below or above comps. I see people fighting every day over prices, and I don't get it. If you don't like someone's price, make an offer and move on. That being said, I tried to be at or below comps. But that's how I do it. Everybody else is different and has a right to do it that way. So my question is to you guys, what's your thought? Earlier we saw the guy with the Alex Pardia Cunha. It's the going rate's a $50 card. At one time, we all know it was available to everyone in the world for $20, and now it's not available from the manufacturer anymore. There's a limited number, and now it's getting $50 from people in the market. People are actually paying $50 for that. I don't blame them, right? It's not a bad turn up, right? Come up. But if you don't like someone's price, you will make your offer and then, hey, this is what I think the card's worth. You don't, so I'm going to move on, right?
It's usually the way I do go about it. Or, hey, here's an offer, or we can do this plus some sort of trade difference, or you can counter if you want.
The simplicity of it, without turning this into a half-hour conversation, is that most people don't understand how to properly analyze comps. They look at the last one sold or the last handful sold, and that's what the card is worth. not considering other extenuating variables like once I buy that card, I'm no longer a consumer. And there's a limited number of consumers for everything. And at some point, you're not going to have another consumer that lining up to buy it. And therefore, that's when a product will sit. And, obviously these don't have an expiration date. They're not going to go bad like other things in other industries. But that's really what it comes down to is people are so married to comps. I'm not going to let you buy this card from me, Tim, for $15 because damn it, the last 3 sold for 20. Okay, but those were the last 3. That doesn't mean that anybody else is going to come at you for more than $15.
Yeah. Yeah,
and
so
my
thing is
this issue.
Yeah, so whenever I list a card now, because I've gone away from auctions on eBay just because of the payment issues of people bidding and then not paying, right? It's just a hassle. So if you want one of my cards that I have on my in my eBay store, I'm going to put it at, say it's a $20 card. Buy it now with best offer. And if somebody comes at me and says $12, right? They want it, they want almost half off the card. Okay, well, I'm going to come back at them and say, hey, 18. And we're going to go from there, knowing that if I think 15 is a fair price, even though the last couple did sell at 20, I'm going to sell it at 15. You know why? I'm going to take that $15 and move on because that $15 is probably more than I paid for the card. So I'm going to take that profit and move on. And I'm not going to cry over $3 or $4 on a sale like that because guess what? Somebody else might not come back by to buy that card ever again, and then I'm stuck with it. So there's a lot of times where I don't get hung up on anything less than like under $5. I'll accept it every time because guess what? It's a sale, it's profit, and I got money in my pocket, and I could go on and take that and buy more stuff and sell it. And so that's why people get so upset if someone has a card for $100 and you offer them $65, right? They're just trying to see what you will take for the card.
Sure.
Come back and say, yeah, man, I'll take $90. Don't be a dick and say I'll take 88. But come back and say, hey, I'll take $90. There's some negotiation there because again, there's no way you probably didn't pay $100 for that card, right? So you're trying to get as much of it as you can. So I get that, but
and 2 quick thoughts on it. One is, if I've got something for sale. And Tim, you say, I'll give you $5 today. And Steph's like, well, it's Wednesday. I don't get paid till Friday. I'll give you $10 on Friday. I mean, you'd kind of be stupid not to wait till Friday. It's twice as much money. But the difference is Tim's cash can go buy my kids a loaf of bread and some bologna today, and they're hungry. And what's to say that I don't get till Friday and Steph's like, I changed my mind. Yeah, I know I said I would. My kids went 2 days without food. In other words, I can make $1 work for me today in the face of $2 potentially tomorrow, but that's not guaranteed.
Yeah.
And then, the other thing is, and I know we've talked about this before, in my opinion, 70% is a fair offer. Anything above 70% is a fair offer. Now, that does not mean as a seller, you have to accept it, but it's not insulting. To me, it's fair. If you choose to negotiate from there, if you choose to accept it, there are a lot of variables. How motivated are you to sell it? Do you need the money? Do you really think that I'm going to hold firm on this one because it's it's a card, vintage card in really good condition, or it's a young player, and who knows what his future might hold? And I'm okay sitting on this and not selling it. I mean, those are independent to you, the seller, but 70% is fair.
Well, somebody had a 2011 Buster Posey Chrome card. I was kind of scrolling through eBay this afternoon while the kids were playing in the yard, and I was like, I don't think I have this one. It was some kind of a parallel 225, and they had it for $15 or best offer, and I just offered the guy $8 because I don't want to. I could have it. I don't know. I don't remember. And he came back and said $11. I was like, done. That's an easy deal. I come up $3, you came down $4,
But maybe there was one I saw the other day on an eBay one. I think I shared it on Twitter. I don't think we talked about it last week, where the seller had a card for $45. The guy offered 23, and the seller responded saying, "insulting" in bold letters, right? or capitalized letters, and he's like insulting. I'm like, first off, I don't need your commentary. Just decline it and move on.
Yeah.
Second off, if an offer that low is insulting to you, cool. eBay has this feature that you can click on saying auto decline under a specified amount that you get to choose. Saying I don't even want to see something that low. But to me, it's not insulting. Yeah, that's at what, like 52%. So it's less than the 70% threshold that I think is fair. But what's to say that that guy doesn't have a $25 a month budget right now, and he really wants to spend his budget with you on that card? Doesn't mean you have to accept it, but it's not insulting. That's where that buyer needs to be.
Mm-hmm.
We know that most likely he's trying to get a deal, and maybe he's looking for a flip opportunity, but maybe not. You know, I've had that happen to me personally, where I offered something that I knew was at fair market. I ended up getting the card for less than I offered this guy, and he literally responded saying, I'm not going to let you make money off of me. You're trying to get me to sell it to you for a lot less, and then you're going to go around and flip it. And I'm like, first off, you're extremely high, guy. Second off, I'm not the buyer. That's not me, but I understand your mindset. Cool. You don't want to sell it to me? That's fine. It's your card. I'll move on. I think it was like a $20 card that I offered $11 for. I ended up getting one for like $6. Yeah. I knew I was overpaying, but I just wanted to get it and move on. And dude was just being a knucklehead.
Well, I made a purchase on Twitter from my buddy Frank. We've done a few things on there. And he had these lots of rookie cards. I think there were 8 cards in a lot or whatever, and it was like $45. And he had four sets of them. Mm-hmm. And so I was like, oh, that's $180 for all the lots. So I reached out to him and said, hey, would you do $150 for all the cards? And he's like, yeah, that's a good deal. Let's do it. You know, and all of his prices, like, you know, ended up being like $3. And this was shipped. So it ended up being about like $3 or so a card, like $3.13, somewhere in there. And most of the cards are selling for $5 or more. Like if I were to go to the last comps, handful of comps over the last like 30 days on eBay, most of the cards are $5 plus. So I could make, and he's like, yeah, he goes, I love doing these deals where he goes, I've made money on the card. I leave some meat on the bone. So if you want to sell these, and a couple of them I get slid over to the PC because I don't have a lot of certain ones of them. And then the others go online and they pay for it, you know? And so it's like, it's great. Like I saw a good opportunity for a quick, easy flip, and he did too. And we both made money on it. It was one of those things, like we both came to an agreement. And so like the thing is that, yeah, comps are great, but it's how motivated is the seller, how motivated is the buyer, and how willing are you as a seller. Even in this market, there are times where it's like it should be motivated to sell in such a hot market and move things and go get other things and put there, because the money is there to be made.
I think Tim broke up a little bit there.
I think you did too.
You know, when it comes to comps, though, yeah, I sometimes use the word arguing wrong. Like I was arguing with somebody today on Twitter, and it's more debating or conversing, not arguing in the traditional sense of that definition. You know, to that original poster's tweet, you know, people are arguing about comps. I mean, yeah, there's a certain area for negotiation. You know, and comps are fluid. You know, they change all the time, especially in this hobby. You know, where a guy has, you know, I'm sure Carlos Rodon cards are probably going to be selling like hotcakes for the next day or two, just like Joe Musgrove's were earlier this week, or guy hits a home run, Yerman Mercedes, you know, all kinds of weird variables where
he's a future Hall of Famer.
Why does the market react the way it does? Well, it does. And, you know, when it comes to comps, as a buyer, try to get the best deal you can get. As a seller, you know, nothing is insulting unless it's ridiculously low. But understand that, you know, sometimes a buyer has to be where they have to be. Make the sale if you choose to. If not, decline, move on. There's always room for negotiation, but sometimes don't negotiate yourself out of a deal either, because you see sometimes people like just to get wrapped up in the I'll meet you halfway, and it's like then you're going to lose the sale because you're high for what you want. Yeah, I bought an opening day short print the other day for $20. The last one comped at 31, and the guy had it at 99-cent auction or best offer. And I was like, I'll give you $20 plus shipping. So 26 out the door. The last one sold for 34 out the door, at least to me here in California with our state tax. And he accepted it. Why did he accept it? Even though it was $10 less? Because why the hell? Maybe A, he didn't care about the comps. B, it was a quick $20 bill. I paid immediately. The whole transaction.
So the auction ends at $12.
Yeah. And he doesn't know. Yeah. Just because, again, it goes back to not knowing how to read a comp. Just because the first one sold at $31, that's because me and this guy went back and forth. That guy doesn't need that card anymore. I don't know how many competing people there were in that particular auction. Maybe he and I are the only two that want that card, and I win this one at 99 cents. Hell, man, a $20 bill sounds good. I paid 4 minutes after I won it. The whole thing took less than 20 minutes from the time I offered it to when he accepted to when I paid and he shipped. That's a quick $20 bill in the dude's pocket.
So you remember those awesome inserts in Top Series 1 with it was the picture of the card of the card?
Mm-hmm.
I forget whatever it was. It was like, so here's the Hank Aaron with the autograph. Well, the Shohei Ohtani one has been selling. Murph brought this to my attention earlier today. We were talking about it. This insert's probably a $1 to $3 insert for Ohtani, right?
If
You're a
that,
Ohtani
yeah.
collector, right? Yeah. Or you're trying to build that set. Okay, a couple bucks. People have been selling them like for $30 or $40, even when it says like reprints, not original card in the title. People are still buying them because of how well he's been playing.
But
So Murph went on Sport Lots and he bought a bunch. He spent a handful of bucks and figured, hey, listen, worst case scenario, I sell them. He goes, I bought them for like less than a couple bucks. Worst case is I sell them for a couple of bucks and I make a little bit of money. Best case scenario is I find some chuckleheads that even want to buy the reprint version and give me $40 for them. I said, hey, I want to find out how this what happens. But I'm just like, are we like? I've gotten some of the dumbest questions in the last 4 or 5 weeks from buyers, and I look at the feedback and it's like 0 to 3 or 4, and it's like. And it's not, it's like, well, I need, it's even more than like, I need pictures of all 4 corners. I need to know, like, Steph, you sent something. Is this I don't want any pre-owned cards. Aren't all cards pre-owned unless they're in a pack?
So to set that one up, a guy contacts us and says, hey, is this new? There's a 2018 something or another set. I'm like, well, it's not brand new, but yes, it's from a 2018 set. It's such and such player, such and such something or another. Someone consigned it to us, and now we're selling it. Because, oh, well, thanks for the information, but I only buy brand new stuff.
His dating life must be horrible.
What does that mean?
What is considered brand new in this hobby?
Pack fresh, maybe? No. Like you're the one that opened the pack and pulled it out? Like there's no way to.
I mean, do you want to go to Topps in New York and go to the basement and print your own cards? I mean, so that you're the only one that's ever touched them? I mean, is that brand new?
Their exact response, and I quote, thanks, but I only get new cards and wanted to know if it was not pre-owned.
So, I mean, if he goes to the car dealership and it's got 12 miles on it, then what does he do? Not buy it because maybe it got test drove already by somebody? Or maybe the 12 miles came from, them moving it around and driving it around the lot to get it onto the car haul?
Testing the wheels or any number of things.
Steph, you want to talk about Dustin May for a sec?
Yeah, sure. So Ben shared this earlier. And unlike a few years ago where Topps Opening Day had a stated print run of certain cards, but didn't actually have the serial numbering on them. Okay, so first you have the opening day for the Dodgers. You have Future Stars logo. You got the Dodgers logo. You got the opening day. Which button is it? The opening day logo. The Dodgers hat. And then 1 of 1. In 2003 Topps serial numbering.
I saw this and I'm like, dude, that looks like a GD date. It looks like January 1st. Are we printing the date? Is that like a 1 of 1, or is it the date that it got serial number stamped?
Stamped or
I thought it was weird too. Yeah.
Just
Thanks,
like,
Tom.
I mean,
Just
come
can't be
on. I mean,
consistent.
the reason that cracked me up was obviously earlier in the show we talked about the one Dub shared where it was, serial numbered 1 above the limit.
Actual run. Yeah.
But this
Or
one's
the
just
old
like,
days when there was the ones that came out that said bad / out of 100.
XXX. Right.
like a
This
holy,
one.
like,
It's so, and I heard some people, I've been watching some breaks and some people talking about Prism and that Panini, like, oh man, like this is a high end release for them. And they don't give two bits about the quality of that product when it's in the pack, when you're spending 25. They don't care. They don't care if it's off center. Look at the last 2 years of Panini Prism basketball. Especially last year's like 1920s colored parallels are at best 80. They're at best 60-40. Maybe a little better than that, but they just don't. They don't care.
For context on the serial numbering, that's what I'm talking about, where it's just so much bigger than the rest of anything else.
Yeah.
Boop.
And so
It's that guy got that
the
Dustin May.
dumb
He's like, dude, I pulled a 1 of 1, and I'm like, well, yeah, kind of.
Is it
So, guys, our question of the week as we get ready to head out tonight: what is your go-to website or app for collecting? Now, I know like everybody's eBay shopping, but like
Nope.
if you want to like go-to site that you like, it's the one that you rely on the most. It doesn't
Trading
have to
Card
do with
DB.
buying cards.
Trading Card DB.
aboutthecards.wordpress.com.
And of course,
I like-
Compsy.com.
I do like Trading Card DB quite a bit. That's a really good one with checklists, players, teams, sets.
Baseball
Then what would-
Cardpedia, is another
Sure.
good resource. Good buddy,
Both of the Chris's.
the Chris's. Stale Gum's been on the show. He's one of the guys behind there. Trading Card DB Team Sets for You is great. That was the first one that helped me build my database, and then Trading Card DB probably is what I should have used originally, but that supplemented the difference. And sometimes just asking people that are smarter than me, like Steph.
So like 49 Bowman, cursive, and regular text.
Okay, I hate Steph because he comes up with all. He's like, "Do you have the team set of 1949 Bowman?" I'm like, "Yeah, I do. Why?" And he's like, "Because there's some cursive text and some plain text on the back of the cards." And I'm like, "My T206 team set that's missing just the plank, Moster Sweet Cap, quite a few Piedmonts, couple Old Mills, and a Polar Bear." I said, "Do I not have the team set now because they're not all the same backs?" He's like, "No, you've got 4 starter sets." I'm like, also, I got a question for you guys. Apparently, my wife is watching our show, and she said I always look mad on this show. Do I always look mad?
No, it's just your face.
That's what I told her. I was like, it's just my dumb face. That's it.
Yeah.
Like Cody Bellinger always looks like he's high. I always look like I'm mad. It's just my dumb face. That's it. Okay.
My favorite site is really not like a site, but it's a link. It's the Blowout release calendar.
Sure.
They update that pretty frequently, so you can find out. Trading Card DB is probably my heart and soul, and run by a great dude. All the ones we mentioned are great, but again, that's like I like that little release calendar. Helps me, one, for the show, but two, if you like to collect product, then you can kind of plan out, get an idea of like, okay, hey, this is coming up. What it does is, if you want to try to get the best price and you have a local card shop, go in a couple months ahead of time before the product comes out and say, hey, listen, I'd like to pre-order 4 boxes of Stadium Club, and I'd pay you today. What can I buy them from you today for? Because I guarantee you can lock in a better price and pay for them, and then pick them up later than when it actually comes out. If you do have a good shop. Now, some shops are gonna be like, whatever, pound sand. But I know our local one does that, and I don't know for how many people, but I'm lucky enough where he allows me to buy some stuff off of him, and not that I buy a lot, but it's kind of fun. Any final thoughts before we head out tonight?
I do have two final thoughts. The one, I got a set in the mail that I've been waiting for a while to pick up on because just right price, right time, etc. But I saw our buddy Ryan Cracknell posting about it, and I hate him for this. But I got in a set from 1983, Topps Perlarian Cats. Essentially, there's a Japanese artist, if you will, that would take actual cats and pose them in little outfits. So in this case, he's got kind of a Civil War outfit, and this one, they're kind of on the beach, and one's got a little surfboard. There's
all those cats are dead now, right?
well, sure.
That for everybody.
But it's kind of a cute, fun set. They're all stickers, and of course, since it's an '80s set, there's all puzzle backs that feature some of the ones on the in the actual set. But for the $10,
puzzle back variations.
Just shut up.
In your face.
Not that's known. But a 5 card set for $10, they couldn't pass it down. And second of all, our buddy John P. shot me a trade package that was loaded with a bunch of fun stuff. So some 75s, some 88 Donruss opening day, I think it was.
No, it's best of
No,
baseball.
baseball's best. Baseball's best, yep.
Baseball's best, yeah.
86 OPG. Some this year's Topps blue foil parallel. Along with some other stuff. So, got to commend him on that. Check out his tweet feed. We'll shoot a message out from our show account. I think he's been trying to trade some 2020, 2021 Upper Deck. So, shoot him a follow. Good dude.
Awesome. Ben, anything before we leave tonight, buddy?
No, just hey, if you get any cool pulls, any fun stuff, share it with us. We definitely want to see that stuff. And if you're in the NorCal area, I plan on coming to the show in Fairfield on Saturday the 24th at the Marriott. And come say hi. I'll probably be there first thing in the morning. I'll probably have both of my kids with me, so it probably won't be a super long day. But would definitely love to connect with some local collectors from the greater Bay Area. Should be fun. Try not to spend a whole ton of money. I've already seen some of the McGuires that the show host Dion's going to be bringing. So,
that guy and I love that when we have a local. We haven't had one in over a year, and I really sad. But the fact that my table got moved is right next to his, and when you come and hang out with me, and then you can just look at all his McGuire stuff.
Dude, he's
the nicest dude too.
I think I mentioned this on the show after the last show he had in the Bay Area right before Christmas. I was like, "Where's your McGuire box?" He goes, "Oh, I left it at home. I didn't know you were coming." And I'm like, "You son of a gun!" He goes, "No, it's cool." He goes, My son's going to pick up my wife. I'll just have them bring it." He goes, "You gonna be here for like another 20 minutes?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And I'm like, "Dang, what's this gonna cost me?" So, but yeah, that's cool. We have another great guy, friend of Uncle Rich named Mark McCrae. He was the guy that I said I could probably get Steph a deal on T206 Walter Johnson. And Rich is like, I know him better. I could probably get a better deal, but he's another collector that's going to be there for the first time setting up at a show in probably 16 months. And he's like, hey, if you need anything, let me know what you're looking for. For instance, if we were looking for a T206 Walter Johnson, if he's got one, he might not bring it, but if you reach out to him, he will. So, if you're in the NorCal area next Saturday, if you see me, I'll probably be, a week from this Saturday, probably wear a About the Cards t-shirt or something so you can recognize me. I'm 5'0". Kind of look like St. Patrick's Day character. Goatee, balding head. I'll have two little loudmouths with me. I won't be.
Do you have a little cane too, or
no? Because I'll be leaning on the stroller. So it'll be the daddy game.
Yeah. If you guys have opened any 2021 Panini Prism, I'm looking for the Harrison Barnes parallels because I'm sick in the head. And a couple years ago, I got the wild idea of every year the Prism release, I'm going to pick a Sacramento King and I'm going to try to build the rainbow. And I'm pretty good on most of it. And so I try to do a different player that's not a rookie. And so I'm like, well, old Harry might not be on the team much longer. So why not pick him this year? So if you have any parallels, I have a couple on the way. And I'm not spending tons of money. If I find them for a couple bucks, I'm buying them. So let me know. Maybe we can buy them or work out a deal. So remember, we're live every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Pacific
10 Central.
On YouTube. Make sure to subscribe and review our show on all platforms. Follow us on Twitter about the cards. Follow Ben at our trading cards. Follow Steph at Junk Wax Twins. You can always follow me at Big Chef 79. Please share your hobby stories, great pulls. Send your questions our way. Keep collecting. We'll talk to you all next week.